Greetings. A lot of fun stuff on that documentary last night. So let's talk about this. The main point is poisoning INFJ by unaware sleepy dupers. That's doctor, but we call them dupers because they're fucking duping you. So, I mean, you've got the president of the Ultimate Fighting Championship being silenced because of what he said. He won't go to a general practitioner because they don't know what they're talking about. He went to some of the best in the world, CPAP machines. Anyway, whether it matters or not, this is mainly for INFJ. You can all be a part. I really don't care, but I will be titling this for Pisces and INFJ only because I don't know if it fucking applies to anyone else. So you've got homeboy in that documentary that's in my community page about the lizard people. He's with some friends in a field and he sees what I would call a disembodied light body. You activate your astral sight, you see all kinds of stuff like that. Astral sight activation, very simple. You get into a meditative state, you visualize a 5-pointed star. You extend the star out about 8 to 12 inches out in front with your eyes closed. 10 minutes a day. If you don't do it 10 minutes a day for 6 months, it's not going to do anything for you. Right? If you slack up because you're lazy or you don't fucking invest 10 minutes a day into yourself, it'll take you a year. So I don't expect anyone to ever do this shit. This is something that the kid is translating it from Bulgarian or whatever language the knowledge keeper speaks. It's Reiki for astral sight activation. Anyway, how does that apply to an INFJ seer of souls? Well, you'd have to be an INFJ seer for it to apply. The experience that he had with his friends in a field and that light body, I have seen those entities in California. Ties in with California Watchers content, The entity that they did in that, okay, cool. I've talked about that before. Seeing it in a strawberry field on videos a long fucking time ago and tried to explain how you see this thing come out of a fucking portal in the woods. Okay, cool. They do it in the documentary that just came out. So the things he's seen, I've already seen and talked about a long time ago. Gotta laugh at the dog for a minute. She like a pelican. She goes over to her food, scoops up a big mouthful, and then like goes off to my shoes and shit. What the fuck are you doing? I find food in my shoes. Anyway, she's cool. I gotta watch her. I gotta see where the pelican's dropping food off at. Anyway, nothing like going to put your feet in your Rick and Morty slides, and Morty's got a mouthful of kibbles and bits. whatever their pedigree. Anyway. Scott Morgan's channel. He's a licensed MBTI counselor. Focuses mainly on the INFJ. His video, The Consciously Unconscious Human, INFJ, The Consciously Unconscious Human. He talks about the inner light of the INFJ, the world that we have stumbled upon from utilizing both sides of the brain hemispheres simultaneously, split right down the middle. Okay, great. So if the licensed MBTI counselor can talk about the light does not blind, but it helps one see, right? The light is the truth. The light is not intimidating. The light is inviting. The light. Ah! Anyway. Reptilians, lizard people, whatever. I have seen these entities inside of people with my astral sight activated. I have seen light come out of Lyra Ray's head at a starseed meetup. There's weird shit obviously going on, and they're making documentaries about it. However, they're also poisoning you when you go to try to talk to someone about it because they're asleep, they're unaware, they're ignorant, they have no experience, they have no prior knowledge. I can word it 100 different ways. They're poisoning you because of it. When there's information that you can learn from, instead of going to them and talking about it, because they're not going to understand, because they're half-wits. They only use one side of their brain, and then that operates whatever hand they write that poison out for you with. Depending on which half-wit side of their brain they use, depends on which hand they're going to write out that death sentence to you. When there's documentaries and education on the shit. So, fucking take it for what it's worth. In that documentary, he talks about Tesla building a huge radio because he was hearing a frequency coming in over this radio that drove him mad, whatever. He wanted to be able to decipher whatever he was hearing. Okay, great. So what about clairsentient abilities to feel those frequencies when they're around you? Obviously. Clairaudient abilities to be able to hear all. The guy in the documentary is talking about the colors and the spectrums in this world that he has no access to. So he goes to the Bible. So he goes to the Dead Sea Scrolls. So he goes to what someone else wrote who had an ability to tap in. That shit was written when people lived off of the land. Right? So if I've got activating your astral sight from the Knowledge Keeper, Reiki for astral sight activation, and it's done by people that live in the jungle, right? And then you're listening to a documentary made by some kid who's reading what stuff that they wrote. He's reading what they wrote. Who knows what the hell they were seeing when they wrote those things? And then they're trying to decipher it. It's just, take it for what it's worth. The shit doesn't make any sense to me. They're trying to interpret because they're the best half-wits at whatever they do. If they're left or right-handed, they're a half-wit. Plain and simple. What does that mean? It means they only use half of their brain, and we have a crown activation. We have activated the other side of the brain. How does that tie into a Pisces? I would assume because Pisces has lived more lifetimes, has an extra lineage of ancestors. When Dolores Cannon talks about them opening portals and shit, okay, Higher Balance talks about the planes of light. When I listen to their concepts on the planes of light, and then I cross-reference it with Scott Morgan, a licensed MBTI counselor for INFJ development, and he talks about the consciously unconscious state. Okay, cool. With a Pisces, you're getting into the realm of Edgar Cayce. Talking about him traveling the astral realm. Okay, great. So what did Edgar Cayce do? Tesla talking about, in that documentary, Tesla's talking about the radio frequencies that he was hearing coming through. Okay, great. When I transcended consciousness with the Buddha, everything Dolores Cannon and them talk about going back to source. When you take somebody down into a QHHT session, I went right there. I was in a platelet. It was like a big ball of platelets, gold platelets everywhere. I'm standing, I'm like, okay, so this is the source. This is the source that they talk about. everything Dolores Cannon had explained, I'm now seeing before my eyes in this meditation with the bouncing Buddha. I reach down and I drop the chokeray symbol and lock it in. NLP technique. Lock it in. Oh, cool. So now I'm channeling these frequencies that documentary can understand, that they're going to the Dead Sea Scrolls, that they're going to the past to try to figure out the present moment. That's the only thing that exists. The past does not exist. That shit's deleted. It doesn't exist. We have evolved since then. That's like trying to go and look up information on a Nintendo to figure out how to play your PlayStation. Do I count it out? No, but that's just how I view it. How far have we advanced since then? When he was talking about missing information from the Aztecs, they don't know. There was missing information during the Aztec, and we just don't know. Well, of course we do. Fingerprint of the Gods can tell you that. Graham Hancock, the one dude they count out of everything because he fucking outs them. Catholic Spaniards came in, and because Tezcatlipoca, the flute that keeps popping up in the cards. When I see that flute, I immediately cry and hear sacrifice energy. Okay, cool. That was the signature thing that they did to the warriors in the Aztec region before they marched them up to the top and pulled their Christ heart consciousness chakra out for the gods. Anyway, stare contest. Anyway. So, you've got Billy Corgan with the mess, and that's it all ties in together. For him to have experienced a shapeshifter, okay, great. Right? Whatever happened in Las Vegas with the chick that I was dating and a girl we were helping out. You wake up to two women praying, you're not going to forget that shit very easily. You're not going to believe what they say because you didn't see it. I got to see it to believe it. The after effects were life-changing. So, we will figure it out. However, when they talk about the inner light awakening of an INFJ and what a miracle it is to be able to see the truth, well, cool. Then that puts you in the realm of a truth speaker, truth seeker. The truth, it hurts. Okay, cool. So now you're hurting people. So now you're giving them the truth, and it's going to hurt some people. It depends on how you hand it to them. Right? If I have to hand something to a half-wit that's writing out poison, you're a half-wit poisoning people. When there's documentaries and information you don't have, so that's an uneducated half-wit poisoning people. You're more than welcome to disagree with me, but if you only use half of your brain and you're poisoning people for experiences that they're making fucking documentaries over, then that means you're unaware of the documentaries, you're a fucking half-wit, and you're poisoning people. You have no education, you have no experience, you only use half your fucking brain, and you're poisoning people with one hand or the other and a pen that is mightier than the sword. So, that's what it is. The entire concept of that documentary that is in my community page, the entire concept of it, it's what it is. The experiences that he's getting, that shit ties right into, one of you told me his name, Chris Bledsoe, right? So if you've got the MIB going to Chris Bledsoe and doing whatever kind of research or whatever they did, right? And when I'm listening to that story, I'm like, why aren't they doing MUFON? MUFON is unbiased. Dolores Cannon was the QHH. She was the QHHT practitioner. She did the hypnosis for alien abduction victims through MUFON. because they would take people that had had this experience with evidence all around them, and then they would take them to a half-wit hypnotist that knew the technique, could regress them back to the situation, but then wouldn't know what questions to ask because they had no creativity. They couldn't creatively fucking come up with a question to ask. They'd get them there and then wouldn't know what question. Well, okay, cool. So we got them here, but we've never been there, so we don't know what questions to ask. And Doris was great at that. She was curious. She'd sit there and work with them. She wanted to know where you were at. It's like Grandma. Grandma wanted to know where you were, what you'd been doing, who you were with, what was on the table. She just broke it down. And this matrix is about to crumble. So the faster that we can figure out, number one, know thyself. All right, as he's talking about a system that keeps people under control based on fear. Cool, that's your reptilian brain. If you don't have a reptilian brain, you're not a fucking human. It's the one thing Scott Morgan talks about. He says, becoming human is the furthest thing. Everybody wants to be a banker. Everybody wants to be a dupter, a half-wit dupter. Oh, I want to be a left or right-handed dupter. Everybody wants to be a firefighter so they can play with their hose. Everyone wants to be a police officer. So the difference between them and the criminal is they haven't got caught yet. Anyone tell me that. And now you've got it all in the cards that there's just a bunch of them out there doing everything they can so they don't get caught. The fuck kind of double standard is that shit? Half-wit, unaware double standard. So, you can't have missing 411 information about people disappearing in the fucking woods and not tie that into Dolores's information on portals open. I have seen these portals. The dude put it on. It's on the documentary that I watched last night. When you see that creepy, it's what it is, frequencies, it's light. Okay, cool. When you go to Scott Morgan's channel, he tells you about the planes of light that the INFJ has tapped into. The gift of sight that we all have. You throw Reiki for astral sight on there, you're in those other dimensions of light and color that they can't explain. The realms that Terence McKenna, the esoteric fucking genius and botanist, tapped into with DMT, whatever. Cool. Use your pineal sites. Your pineal sites produce DMT that give you access to those colors. It's called the spirit molecule for a reason. What's the problem when you talk to people about this shit? They got no spirit. They're half-wits with no spirit. Much less an understanding of molecules. So, that'll be enough of that. It's just what it is. Just take it for what it's worth. However, that documentary, absolutely. Everything that he's talking about, that he was trying to figure out, that he went back to the Bible, that he went back to the Dead Sea Scrolls, that he went here and here and here and here and here because of all of the experience that he had with some friends in a fucking field. Cool, I had that at a strawberry festival in Arroyo Grande, California, and with tons of people. But my astral sight was activated because I had just spent a fucking year developing it. So, and like a 9 months of fasting and raw food diet, Cool. I don't need any of that shit. Once you can tap in, you can tap in. Once you're aware, you're aware. It's not all that it's cracked up to be. It'll make you fucking go crazy. The dude has dedicated his entire life to trying to figure out what? The fucking Dead Sea Scrolls? The Bible? That's what it is. However, the whole Nephilim aspect of it, yeah, that's what it is. I have seen these entities. It's called the INFJ Seer of Souls for a reason. Once you are able to see the psyche or suke of an individual, right, and then you see their aura of a different person, hold your finger out and put all of your focus on the center of your eyebrows. When you see that second finger pop out to the side, put your peripherals to the further, your conscious awareness to the furthest of your peripheral of that second finger. At that time, when you have your conscious awareness at the furthest peripherals, activate your astral sight by putting that fucking star on your finger. And poop, there's another person there. The person before you, no, it's the body jumper is what is before you at that point. Once you do that technique that I just told you, that someone else told me that I have done, you will see an entity inside of that person. That's what it is. I tried to do it on Lyra Ray, the princess of Pleiades. Light was coming out of her fucking mouth. When you see light come out of a chick's mouth, you just want to see it again. You do. It's just what it is. She's doing light language. Okay, so she's doing something called light language. I'm activating my astral sight. I'm seeing astral energy come out of her mouth. Learn to see energy in the air. It's a class. Learn to see energy in the air. Dim your lights. Find a focal point on the wall. Take 5 deep breaths of prana or chi or ki. The universal life force energy. Breathe it in. 5 big deep breaths until the inside of your head turns white. Oh, the inside of my head doesn't turn white. It's because your third eye's closed. Oh, it's kind of white. Okay, cool. Then you're kind of there. You open your eyes back on that focal point, put your conscious awareness to the furthest of your peripherals again, and you're going to see all these little pixels come into the situation. Cool. When you can see those pixels and activate your astral sight, and you've got the inner light of the INFJ activated, you're in the planes of light. Plain and simple. It's really not plain and it's really not simple. It's the planes of light, and it takes a long time to get there. Right? That's why I really wasn't interested in putting a whole lot more into this school, because the techniques that I have experience in and that I practice and that I do, most people are too fucking lazy, too unaware, or too half-witted to care. So it's what it is. The information's already out there, so it's not that big a deal. Right? What does it cause? Voodoo witch doctors to fucking be drawn to your light. Trigger demons. Oh, he has activated the light of the inner. He's activated the inner light of the INFJ. Look at that. Scott Morgan, the licensed MBTI counselor, says that's a miracle. Attack that fucking miracle. So it's the truth. And people are always going to attack the truth because it shines light on their bullshit. People's bullshit is more important to them than the truth. Plain and simple. Ask them. Oh, you can't tell them this. Oh, yeah, cool. And that means you're fucking in the dark, period. Oh, we've got secrets. Well, that shit will never set you free. Love, light, and truth is the only thing that sets you free. Go continue being in the dark, imprisoned in your fucking darkness, period. Plain and simple. Oh, we got to do this huge fucking setup. Let's get everybody together so we can go rob the... Cool, you're in the fucking dark. You're a dark entity and you're going straight into the abyss, period. There's nothing we can do for you. You're absolutely a waste of time, a complete and total fucking waste of space. And I hear that there's reptilians on an island eating people like you. Fucking set them a table. Set a table for the enemies. That's what it is. Anyway, I don't care. I don't give a shit. Everything that they're doing that's going on in the background didn't do anything but get them straight drugged to Hades. You can't fucking tell me any different. If Dorothy is paying practitioners to do jinn magic, it's called jinn magic for a reason. It leads to jinn possession for a dark magician for a reason. Things that you're not, it's called occult knowledge, opening occult portals, shit you're not supposed to know about because it's not mainstream. It's the fucking dark web for your mind. Right? What is the dark web? 90% of the fucking internet, and most people only know what they can Google. Anyway, it's the difference between... I had a conversation with a chick one time. She was teaching, astral projection and da-da-da-da-da. I was like, okay, well, is that occult? astral projection or mainstream? There's only astral projection's astral projection. No, bitch, it's not. You're stupid. And you're charging people. You don't know anything about spirituality. You don't know anything about the occult that opens their minds up to fucking every deception known to man. The same thing he's talking about in that documentary. But she's got a class for it. She's got a class for that. She's got a class for that. You ask her the one question that would determine whether or not you would go to that class, and she's the teacher that's fucking totally unaware. Are you left or right-handed? Oh, cool. So then you're the half-wit teaching the fucking class and the know-it-all. You're leading people straight to a fucking dupter that's, oh, yeah, damn, we got to poison this one. Anyway. That's what it is. Three things, if it even fucking matters. I know the INFJ are going to care, especially the Pisces INFJ, right? Because they're having experiences that other people aren't going to fucking understand. Cool. So when you have an understanding of this, and you can see that shit inside people when the time fucking comes, use your discernment, Pisces. What the fuck does a tarot reader mean by that? Activate my astral sight so I can see their soul? It's called seeing the higher self class for a reason. This is where they run into trouble with me. Pisces is ready for them now? Well, yeah, because they have no education in the situation. Right. And these are paid classes. So, I mean, you've paid for an education on that. Cool. You're the fucking opposition. You're the unaware opposition of the old way of doing things. We're going into a new earth, a new way of doing things. Do we use the old techniques that they were fucking unaware of to begin with? Sure, because they if it ain't broke, don't fix it. The shit from the past that's always worked, that they're unaware of, that was hidden, is now coming to the light. What was kept in the dark is coming to the light. Right? Why is everything falling around up? Why is society so fucked up? Because all of the good shit was kept in the dark, away from the half-wits that are poisoning people. Plain and simple. That's what it is. So that's the epitome of a profoundly sick, backwards society. So that's what it is. Right? And as people continue to have these paranormal experiences, because we're at the end times of the Bible, the Quran, the Book of Enoch, the Watchers. You can't have people making California Watcher content and me not sit here and tell you I saw that shit with my astral sight. That's what it is. You've got an earth angel running around all over Tarot land with the gift of sight, and I just told you how to activate it. Are you going to put forth 6 months into yourself? Fucking, that's a you question. I can't sit 10 minutes. Do you know how many times I've heard that shit? I can't sit still for 10 minutes a day. Well, no, because you're too busy enforcing your death scrolling. The normal human attention span is 8 seconds. So that means I've got to get, for you to activate your astral sight, I have to get you to care about yourself a whole 9 fucking minutes and 92 seconds longer than what you do on average. Let me go tend to my dog. Namaste.